Imagine this. It's 3 in the morning. The highway outside stretches endlessly into darkness, broken only by the occasional rush of headlights that vanish as quickly as they appear. Inside the gas station, fluorescent lights buzz softly overhead, casting a pale glow on empty aisles and half-stocked shelves. The coffee machine gurgles in the background. The refrigerator hums like a distant engine, and somewhere above the door, the motion sensor light flickers for no reason at all. You are completely alone. This is the reality of the graveyard shifter job that feels less like work and more like standing guard at the edge of the night. Welcome to True Files Official, where we document real-world encounters that blur the line between the ordinary and the unexplained. Tonight's stories don't come from abandoned mansions or cursed forests. They come from a place we all know too well: gas stations. Places designed for brief stops, not lingering. Places where people pass through, but rarely stay. Yet for those who work there overnight, these stations become something else entirely. Why is it that so many gas station attendants report strange experiences after midnight? Is it exhaustion playing tricks on the mind? Or is there something about these isolated, brightly lit islands in the darkness that attracts what we cannot see? As the night deepens, logic often gives way to instinct. And instinct tells many attendants the same thing. You are not alone. Before we continue, take a moment to subscribe to True Files Official. If real, documented paranormal encounters intrigue you, this channel is your home. New stories, real witnesses, and chilling details every week. Now, ask yourself this. What would you do if the doorbell rang and no one was there? What if the security camera showed movement in an empty store? And what if the feeling watching you wasn't fear but certainty? Because for many attendants, the haunting doesn't begin loudly. It begins quietly, subtly, with the overwhelming sense that something unseen has just clocked in for the night shift. One attendant from a rural highway station described a recurring experience that still unsettles him years later. Almost every night, around 2:47 a.m., the automatic doors would slide open. The familiar chime echoed through the store, just as it would for any customer. But no one ever walked in. The air would grow noticeably colder, and the smell of gasoline stronger than usual would drift through the aisles. Surveillance footage confirmed the doors opening on their own, triggered by something the camera could not capture. Another worker reported seeing a figure standing at pump number 4. From inside the store, it looked like a man wearing an old-fashioned jacket, head lowered, completely still. When the attendant approached the window to activate the pump, the figure vanished. No footsteps, no movement, just empty concrete and a blinking fuel display. Then there are the sounds. Footsteps pacing behind the counter. Shelves rattling gently, as if brushed by invisible hands. Restroom doors slamming shut, only to be found unlocked and empty moments later. Many attendants admit they stopped checking entirely. Some locked the doors and waited until sunrise. What makes these encounters more disturbing is the consistency. Different states, different stations, different workers, yet the same patterns repeat: apparitions that don't acknowledge the living, customers who never make purchases, and presences that seem aware they're being watched. One attendant described locking eyes with a woman standing near the drink coolers. She appeared solid, real, and distressed. When asked if she needed help, the woman turned and walked straight through a locked storeroom door, one that required a key card to open. No drugs, no alcohol, no sleep deprivation severe enough to explain shared experiences captured on camera. So what are these unseen customers? Echoes of the past, residual energy, or something still passing through, unaware it no longer belongs? And if they're just passing through, why do they always arrive at night? Not all encounters are silent or passive. Some escalate. One attendant working alone during a winter storm recalled the moment the lights began flickering violently, one row at a time, as if something were moving through the ceiling. The cash register rebooted repeatedly, printing receipts with no transactions each, one time stamped exactly 3:33 a.m. Another case involved a security camera capturing a shadow forming behind the counter. The shadow moved independently, stretching upward, distorting unnaturally before collapsing into nothing. The attendant didn't see it until later, reviewing footage with management. He quit the same day. Perhaps the most chilling account came from a station built near an old highway intersection known for fatal accidents. Multiple attendants reported seeing the same apparition. A man standing near the road, waving frantically as if signaling for help. Every time police were called, the figure vanished before officers arrived. Historical records later revealed a hit-and-run fatality at that exact location decades earlier. Some encounters even involve physical interaction. Cold hands brushing arms, breaths felt against ears, objects thrown across the store with enough force to shatter glass. These are no longer passive hauntings, they are confrontations. And here's the most unsettling question. If these entities can manipulate lights, doors, and cameras, why do they choose to reveal themselves to gas station attendants? What makes these workers the witnesses? For many attendants, the haunting doesn't end when the shift does. Sleep becomes difficult. Nightmares replay moments they can't explain. Some refuse to work alone again. Others develop an intense awareness of their surroundings, jumping at every sound, every flicker of light. Several former attendants described feeling followed, like something attached itself to them after the encounter. Electronics malfunctioning at home, doors opening on their own, a persistent sense of being watched even in daylight. Skeptics argue these experiences stem from isolation and fatigue, and while psychology can explain some reactions, it struggles to explain shared experiences, verified footage, and historical correlations tied to specific locations. Many attendants search for answers researching land records, old accidents, previous businesses on the property. Sometimes the truth offers closure. Sometimes it makes things worse. What's clear is this: once you experience something that defies explanation, you don't return to normal. You live with the knowledge that reality may not be as solid as you once believed. And that knowledge is heavy. Gas stations exist in liminal spaces, places of transition. People arrive, refuel, and leave. They sit between destinations, between moments. Paranormal researchers believe such locations may naturally attract residual energy, especially when tied to trauma, accidents, or death. Add isolation, artificial lighting, and long hours of solitude, and you create the perfect environment for encounters. Not because attendants are imagining things, but because they're the only ones present long enough to notice. So now, we turn the question to you. Have you ever felt watched at a gas station late at night? Seen something you couldn't explain? Or experienced a moment that still makes your skin crawl? Share your story in the comments. Your experience may be featured in a future episode of True Terror Files Official. If you value real accounts, respectful storytelling, and the unexplained corners of our world, subscribe now and stay curious, because the night remembers everything.